Well, one of the images released from Monday's operation that killed the al-Qaeda leader showed the damaged tail rotor of a helicopter. Apparently, the chopper developed mechanical problems and US Special Forces blew it up. Well, the type of aircraft used in the mission is a vital link in explaining how the Special Operations crew entered Pakistan undetected. So let's take a closer look now at what the wreckage may have been. The sophisticated military hardware is designed to operate during covert operations. And based on images of the tail rotor found at the scene, behind me here, experts say this was possibly an HH-60G Pavehawk helicopter. Now, the Pavehawk is used by the US Army in search and rescue missions. The helicopter is a modified version of the Army's Black Hawk helicopter. Now, the most important modifications are related to stealth. The chopper's rotors have modified rotor blades to make them silent. Also, it's equipped with an infrared jammer and a tactical data receiver, allowing the crew to receive real-time mission update information. Well, to discuss this further, we're joined by Robert Densmore, who's a former US naval flight officer. He's been involved in flying stealth aircraft in Afghanistan. Robert Densmore, we don't know much about this stealth aircraft, if it's new or a modification to the existing Black Hawk. But from what you've seen, what are these images telling you?
Hello, Darren. One correction, I should say that I flew A-6B Prowlers, which were not stealth aircraft, but involved in electro or ECM jamming operations. I think one thing I'd say about this tail rotor assembly on this, what is clearly an H-60 family aircraft, is that the stabilizers are moved forward in an unprecedented manner, and also the tail rotor assembly is coated with a kind of probably IR absorbent material. It's clearly meant to evade radar and also IR detection.
So in terms of using the stealth helicopter, would it have been to evade Pakistani radar or to capitalize on the element of surprise going into bin Laden's villa compound?
Well, this is the big question I think analysts are after, and I would probably bet on the former, and the fact that U.S. forces going into Pakistan would not have alerted either the ISI or the Pakistan military about this mission, and with the intent of either evading border reconnaissance or radar, Pakistan's radar on the border, and evading them to actually get to the target area and deploy the Navy SEAL teams there.
Robert, are we any clearer now as to why the helicopter crashed? I mean, some experts are saying that it was probably at the limit of its flying capability. There was hot weather, a large load, and even perhaps a tight landing zone. What's your thought on that?
Well, a lot of these factors will have come into play, and certainly this aircraft would have been pushed to its operational limits, considering the altitude and the payload and the fuel it would have had to carry. It's unclear. Now, the official statements from U.S. officials is that there was a mechanical problem. We don't know the nature of that. Some sources say that it was a hard landing. Interestingly, other press sources in Pakistan say that there were explosions going alongside of this. Now, these are unconfirmed, and we know from reports that all the personnel deployed were unharmed in that hard landing.
We've heard a lot about this shadowy SEAL Team 6. I mean, how much training do the Navy SEALs do with helicopter insertion and extraction? I mean, this sort of stuff is their bread and butter, isn't it?
Well, precisely, Darren, and by their very name and nature, sea, air, land forces, they are trained in these types of deployments. And really from day one, they would have been getting comfortable with insertions like these, helicopter assault insertions. And I have to say, the Navy SEAL teams should be probably very satisfied with the level of performance that they saw here, particularly on a night operation in hostile territory.
All right, Robert Densmore, thank you very much for talking to Al Jazeera.